next on our list is Michael Terry the third, absolute freak athlete. This is the kind of guy you love to just dream on the potential here. And before I get going on him, like and subscribe to this video if you enjoy what we're doing here on the official. Want to get those numbers up, want to get more people to be able to watch this and enjoy what we have to say about these prospects. Now, Michael Terry is a listed as an athlete, number one athlete in the country. He's 28th overall. And like if we were playing NCAA football on like PlayStation 5, this is the player you would absolutely want in your recruiting class because you probably put him anywhere on the field. He's going to be like a 98 as a freshman because he's just an athletic marvel. And unfortunately, the flip side of these athletes sometimes is that they have no real positional home. He's 6'3", 210, which immediately kind of screams wide receiver. But, there's a lot of buzz about him playing running back in college. He's from Texas, and he's uncommitted at the moment. So Terry had 995 yards rushing, 564 yards receiving, and 32 total touchdowns. So the guy, 1,400 plus, 1,500 yards total with 32 touchdowns, just like monster production. And speaking of wingspan, he's got a 6'6" wing, so not quite as crazy out of proportion as Lockett, but still 6'6" wingspan. He definitely looks like he could be a dominant wide receiver just on the physical traits. But if you'll watch the tape, and this is him, I think, playing on defense, I would rather project a freak athlete as a running back more than a receiver. I just think that you can use the overall athleticism to dominate at a running back position. I think receiver takes a little more refined skill set and nuance. But he lines up a lot as a running back in high school. You'll see here on tape. I mean, a lot of it is at a single back formation, and they give him the ball, and he really can make highlights. He's got a 100 meter, but I think he's plenty fast, and then a 6'4" high jump, which is huge. And I just think that I'd be more excited about and more comfortable, with him as a running back. I think as a receiver, first of all, the tape's a little limited, and second of all, he just seems to be truly raw as a wide receiver. Like, really hasn't played the position very much. Sure, as David points out to us a lot, the upside there for a guy who hasn't played the position full time is always there. They catch new features and they really unlock some potential, but it's also concerning because he's going to be very raw going into college. And I just don't know where he fits. He's kind of just too big, honestly, to be a running back, unless you just want to think he's like Eddie George or something like that. I mean, guys just don't go in really 6'3", 210. I guess Derrick Henry's maybe the last just absolutely ginormous running back to really make it in college and then in the NFL. So I don't know where he's going to land. I mean, it seems like his frame is receiver. I think he might be more interesting as a running back. David, help me out here. Where do you see him playing? Where do you want to see him playing? And what do you think of Michael Terry overall?
Yeah, I don't know how much help I'll be because I'm confused as well. He's sort of, I don't know. It sounds like he's being recruited as just an athlete, basically. All these schools want him, and they'll just let him decide where he's going to play. I would assume he's going to pick receiver. He doesn't really look like a running back to me. He looks closer to a receiver. He could even end up being as big as he could do some weird Jaheim Bell type thing and just totally bulk up to like some weirdo tight end. I don't know. It's confusing. He had 110 carries last year for 995 yards and 25 receptions. So it's like he was running more than he was receiving. He played like his SOS was -1 too, so it's a little bit hard to judge going against some weaker competition too. But yeah, I don't know. He's athletic, and I'm just gonna say, like, I hope that he plays full-time receiver as a senior, and we get a better idea. He kind of gave me some Adam Randall vibes. Like when I popped it on, that was like the first thing that I thought of. Like he's already like 216 on Rivals, I think. Like this dude could get to like that 225, 230 area, which is just kind of makes me nervous because I'm like I want guys that can separate and stuff like that. Like he's kind of like this power forward throwback X type. And I'm not going to just automatically dismiss him, but I just want to see more on tape, I think, for, this upcoming year.
Yeah, and to be clear, this isn't like Nicholas Harbor either, who was giant, but also ran like a 10 300-meter. I mean, he's fast, but he's not like just otherworldly the way that Harbor was last year. Matt, any clarity here, or are you as, I don't know what to do with this guy as the rest of us?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty much on the same page. He's a tough eval. I was saying before the show, I think he's so versatile it almost hurts him a bit. I would probably honestly rather him at running back. And I think he would honestly grade out pretty good for me at running back, but the build is just weird for. I mean, it's 6'3". I think I've seen him listed as low as 6'2" and a half. So that's not like totally out of the realm, but still, it's very long for a running back. But I mean, the running back at skill set would be good. I mean, he's a good receiver. He does work between the tackles. He's pretty solid laterally moving, good long speed. But it seems like most of the schools are recruiting him at receiver, or at least that's the position coach that is recruiting him. So that I don't love the current projection wide receiver just because we haven't seen him do that many pure wide receiver things that aren't go down the field and snag this ball over this 5'10" corner.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you, and I wanted to be excited. I saw 21 miles an hour. I saw 6'3", 210. I saw, receiving and running contributions. This is all before I flipped on the tape, and I'm like, this guy has the makings of someone we all love. I mean, kind of like the Quentin Martin mold from a year before, a guy who really does all of the above with a nice body size that you can project at the next level. But Quentin Martin obviously is going to play running back for Penn State. Whereas Terry might not. So it's another reason I like betting on the athleticism at running back, but I don't like betting on it as a receiver when that's the main thing to hang your hat on. And so, we'll just have to see. But, even watching the tape, like his receiving highlights were just not anything that I could take anything away from, really. Just like David said, I mean, kind of just jump balls or Matt maybe. Big stuff down the field. Otherwise, kind of, just nothing technical, nothing refined. And as we know, when all you're doing is out athleticizing people, that does go away as you move up in competition.